You spend your whole weekend cleaning. You scrub, you spray, you wipe down every surface, and you feel like you've done a great job. But here's an unsettling truth that would horrify anyone raised on the Japanese approach to cleanliness. Many of the most common cleaning habits don't actually clean at all. They just move dirt and germs around, and some of them leave your home dirtier than before you started. In Japan, where cleaning is treated as a precise, almost mindful discipline rather than a chore to power through, these mistakes are seen as fundamentally missing the point, because working hard while spreading grime isn't cleaning, it's just rearranging the mess. The good news is that every one of these is easy to fix once you see it, and fixing them means all that effort you already put in finally pays off. These are 10 cleaning mistakes that, from a Japanese point of view, actually make things dirtier. And the first one is something almost everyone does every single day. Let's get into it. Mistake number 1, and it's the most common of all: using the same cloth or sponge to clean everything, everywhere. This is the habit that horrifies a Japanese cleaner more than any other, because it does the exact opposite of what cleaning is supposed to do. Think about what happens when you wipe the bathroom sink, then carry that same cloth to the kitchen counter, then the dining table. That cloth picked up bacteria and grime from the first surface, and now it's smearing them onto everything it touches next. So you're not removing germs, you're distributing them across your whole home, spreading bathroom bacteria onto the very surfaces where you prepare food. The sponge is even worse. A damp kitchen sponge is one of the most bacteria-laden objects in the entire house. Studies have found it can harbor more bacteria than a toilet seat, so wiping your counters with it just relocates that colony from surface to surface. The Japanese approach is built on separation and freshness. Use different, dedicated cloths for different zones. Never the bathroom cloth in the kitchen. Wash or swap them constantly so they're always clean, and rinse and dry them fully between uses because a damp cloth breeds bacteria. A dirty tool cannot clean. It can only spread, and cleaning with a filthy cloth is like washing your face with a muddy towel. This single fix, a clean cloth per zone, transforms your cleaning from spreading grime to actually removing it. A practical way to make it foolproof is the color coding system that professional cleaners use. Assign a color to each zone. One color of cloth for the bathroom, another for the kitchen, another for general surfaces, so you can never accidentally carry toilet area germs to the counter where you chop vegetables. And rotate several cloths through a single cleaning session rather than clinging to one. The moment a cloth is visibly soiled or has done a dirty area, it's finished until it's washed. The underlying idea is simple and absolute. The tool that touches a dirty surface must never then touch a clean one without being cleaned in between. If that already makes sense, hit subscribe, because these build on each other, and the whole picture only comes together when you see how they connect. Mistake number 2, cleaning in the wrong order, from the bottom up instead of the top down. This is a mistake of sequence, and it's one the meticulous Japanese approach never makes, because it forces you to clean the same thing twice and spreads dirt onto surfaces you've already done. Here's the problem. If you clean your floors first and then dust the shelves and wipe the counters, all that dust and debris you knock loose from the higher surfaces falls straight down onto the clean floor you just finished. So now the floor is dirty again and your work is undone. The correct order, and the one a Japanese cleaner follows instinctively, is always top to bottom. Dust and clean the highest surfaces first, the shelves, the cabinet tops, the light fixtures, then work your way down to the counters and furniture, and clean the floors dead last, so that all the dirt that falls during cleaning ends up on the floor, which you then clean at the very end. The same logic applies front to back and clean to dirty across a room. Gravity is doing the work of moving dirt downward, whether you like it or not, so you either work with it, top to bottom, or you fight it and end up redoing everything. Order isn't a detail, it's the difference between cleaning once and cleaning twice. The same principle extends beyond height to the whole approach. Work one room at a time, from the cleanest areas toward the dirtiest, and always finishing the dirtiest, most contaminated spots, the toilet, the trash zone, last. So you never carry contamination backward into areas you've already made clean. Some people even keep a mental or written checklist of a room, high surfaces, then mid surfaces, then handles and switches, then floor. so nothing gets missed and nothing gets done out of sequence. It feels rigid at first, but it's exactly this disciplined order that lets a Japanese cleaner move through a home once, efficiently, and have it genuinely clean, rather than circling back endlessly re-dirtying finished areas. Mistake number 3, never cleaning your cleaning tools themselves. This one strikes at the very heart of the Japanese philosophy, which holds that you cannot create cleanliness with dirty instruments. People diligently clean their homes with a vacuum whose filter is clogged, a mop whose head hasn't been washed in months, and cloths that are gray with old grime, and then wonder why the results feel off. A clogged vacuum filter kills the suction, so instead of lifting dirt, it just pushes it around and blows fine dust back into the air. A dirty mop doesn't wash the floor. It smears a thin layer of dirty water across it, which is why the floor looks fine, wet, and then feels sticky once it dries. A grimy cloth just moves grime. The Japanese habit is to treat the maintenance of your tools as part of cleaning itself. Empty and clean the vacuum and its filter regularly. Wash the mop head and let it dry fully. Wash your cloths after every use and store them dry and aired, not balled up damp where they grow bacteria. Your tools are only as clean as you keep them, and a home is only ever as clean as the tools you clean it with. Neglect the tools, and every cleaning session starts at a disadvantage. The kitchen sponge deserves special mention here because it's the tool people abuse most. Left damp in the sink, it becomes a bacterial colony within days, and no amount of dish soap fixes that. The habit is to sanitize it regularly, running it through the dishwasher or wetting it and microwaving it briefly, and to simply replace it often, because a sponge is cheap and your health is not. The same goes for dishcloths and towels, which should be washed in hot water frequently and dried fully. Think of your cleaning tools as things that need cleaning as much as anything else in the house, because the moment a tool becomes the dirtiest object you own, it stops cleaning and starts contaminating everything it touches. Mistake number 4, spraying cleaner and immediately wiping it away, giving it no time to work. This is a mistake of impatience, and it wastes both your effort and your product while leaving germs alive. Most cleaners and disinfectants need what's called dwell time. They have to sit in contact with the surface for a period, often several minutes, to actually break down grime and kill bacteria. When you spray and wipe in the same motion, as most people do, you're removing the product before it's had any chance to do its job, so you get the appearance of cleaning without the substance. The surface looks wiped, but the germs are largely still there. The patient Japanese approach, which never rushes the process, is to apply the cleaner, then let it sit for the time the product needs, and only then wipe it away, so the chemistry has actually done its work. Read the label, respect the dwell time, and you'll kill far more bacteria with the exact same effort, just applied in the right order. Rushing the wipe is how a surface can look clean while remaining, invisibly, dirty. There's a related two-step most people collapse into one and shouldn't. Cleaning and disinfecting are different jobs. Cleaning removes the visible dirt and grime, and disinfecting kills the germs, and a disinfectant can't work properly on a dirty surface because the grime shields the bacteria from it. So the correct sequence is to clean the surface first, wiping away the dirt, and then apply the disinfectant and let it sit for its full dwell time. Spraying disinfectant onto a greasy, crumb-covered counter and wiping straight away accomplishes almost nothing on both fronts. Clean first, then disinfect, and give each step the moment it needs. By the way, all of this is part of one bigger system. If you want the complete Japanese method, with every principle like this for a genuinely clean home, the full book is linked in the description of this video and on the channel. It's there if you want it. Mistake number 5, using too much cleaning product, which leaves a residue that attracts more dirt. This is deeply counterintuitive, and it's a mistake that offends the Japanese sense of restraint and precision, because here, more is genuinely worse. When you use too much detergent, floor cleaner, or spray, the surface can't be fully rinsed of it, and that leftover product dries into a sticky, tacky film. And that film is a magnet. It grabs dust, dirt, and grime out of the air and holds on to them, so a surface cleaned with too much product actually gets dirty faster than one cleaned with the right amount. This is why an over-cleaned floor can feel sticky underfoot, why over-shampooed carpet resoils almost immediately, and why a counter cleaned with too much spray feels filmy. The Japanese principle is that less is more. Use the smallest effective amount of a gentle cleaner, and rinse or wipe thoroughly so no residue is left behind. A properly cleaned surface should feel clean and bare, not filmy or tacky. Drowning something in product doesn't clean it better, it sabotages it, leaving behind exactly the sticky trap that dirt loves. This is especially true with concentrated cleaners, which are designed to be diluted or used in tiny amounts. A few drops often do the whole job, and the suds or the film you see building up are the warning sign that you've overdone it. It also quietly wastes money, since you're pouring expensive product down the drain and buying it more often. The Japanese instinct for restraint, using just enough and no more, isn't only about cleanliness, it's about doing the job precisely, economically, and without leaving a trace of the cleaning behind. Mistake number 6. Spraying cleaner directly onto the surface instead of onto the cloth. This is a subtle one, but it connects to the last mistake, and it's a habit the careful Japanese approach avoids. When you spray liquid cleaner directly onto a surface, especially glass, wood, electronics, or a screen, you tend to apply far too much. It pools and runs, it's hard to wipe evenly, and it leaves streaks and residue in the exact spots the spray concentrated. Spraying directly can also drive moisture into places it shouldn't go: seams, electronics, the edges of wood. The better method is to spray the cleaner onto your cloth first, and then wipe the surface with the dampened cloth, which gives you even controlled application. No pooling, no residue, no streaks, and no liquid seeping where it shouldn't. It uses less product, it cleans more evenly, and it protects delicate surfaces. It's a tiny change in technique that produces a noticeably cleaner, streak-free result, and it's the kind of precise, considered detail that defines how the Japanese clean. Before the next mistakes, if you're finding these useful, take a second to subscribe, because the last few are the ones that make the biggest difference of all. Mistake number 7. Dusting with a feather duster or a dry cloth that just scatters dust into the air. To a Japanese cleaner focused on actually removing dirt rather than relocating it, the classic feather duster is almost absurd because it doesn't capture dust at all. It just flicks it up into the air and pushes it around. That dust then floats for a while and settles right back down, often onto surfaces you've already cleaned, so you've achieved nothing except redistributing it. The same goes for wiping a dusty surface with a dry rag. You're mostly just moving the dust around and sending some of it airborne. The fix is to use something that actually traps and holds dust rather than scattering it, a slightly damp microfiber cloth, which grabs dust particles and locks them in so they leave the room with the cloth instead of resettling. Microfiber's fine fibers physically capture the dust, and the slight dampness stops it from becoming airborne. Real dusting removes dust from your home entirely. It doesn't just launch it into the air to land somewhere else, and that distinction is the whole difference between the appearance of cleaning and the reality of it. This connects to a broader point the Japanese approach takes seriously: matching the right tool to the surface. Paper towels on glass and mirrors leave lint and streaks where a microfiber cloth leaves them spotless. An abrasive scourer on a delicate finish scratches it. The wrong tool doesn't just clean poorly, it often leaves the surface worse than before. Choosing the correct tool for each material and reaching for microfiber for most dusting and wiping is a quiet but essential part of cleaning that actually removes dirt instead of smearing or scattering it. Mistake number 8. Not letting surfaces dry and leaving moisture behind everywhere. This is a mistake the moisture-conscious Japanese approach treats as serious, because lingering dampness doesn't just fail to clean, it actively breeds new problems. When you wash a surface and leave it wet, or leave the bathroom soaking after cleaning, that trapped moisture becomes a breeding ground for mold, mildew, and bacteria, and it leaves water spots and streaks as it dries unevenly. Damp cloths left balled up, a wet mop stored in a corner, a bathroom left dripping, all of these grow the very germs you were trying to eliminate. The Japanese habit, the same one that keeps their bathrooms famously mold-free, is to dry surfaces after cleaning them, to wipe down and ventilate, to make sure nothing is left damp. Dry your surfaces, wring your cloths and dry them, ventilate the room so moisture escapes. A surface isn't truly clean until it's dry, because a wet surface is just an invitation for the next generation of mold and bacteria to move in. Cleaning that ends in dampness is cleaning that plants the seeds of the next mess. And one crucial safety point belongs right here, because it's about what you should never do while chasing a cleaner result. Never mix cleaning products together in an attempt to make them stronger. In particular, never combine bleach with ammonia or with vinegar, because those combinations release genuinely toxic gases that can seriously harm you in an enclosed room. Powerful cleaning comes from the right technique and the right dwell time, not from mixing chemicals, and the gentle, single-agent approach the Japanese favor is both more effective and far safer. Mistake number 9. Wiping or sweeping up grit and dirt dry, grinding it into the surface. This is a mistake of technique that damages surfaces while pretending to clean them, and the careful Japanese approach avoids it instinctively. When there's gritty dirt, sand, or fine debris on a surface, especially a floor or a countertop, dragging a dry cloth or a broom across it doesn't lift it cleanly. It grinds those hard particles against the surface like sandpaper, creating micro scratches that dull the finish over time and, on floors and glass, actually make them harder to keep clean because dirt clings to the scratches. It also just pushes a lot of the grit around rather than removing it. The better approach is to lift grit away rather than grind it. Vacuum or gently sweep loose debris up first, or use a damp cloth that picks the particles up and carries them off rather than scraping them across. Removing the abrasive grit before you wipe protects your surfaces and actually gets them cleaner. It's the difference between lifting dirt off and rubbing it in, and only one of those is really cleaning. This is also why a good cleaner always clears the loose debris first, before applying any water or product. Sweeping or vacuuming up the crumbs, hair, and grit at the start means that when you do wipe or mop, you're cleaning the surface itself rather than smearing a wet paste of dirt around it. Spraying cleaner straight onto a gritty, crumb-covered surface and wiping just creates muddy streaks and pushes the debris into corners. Clear the loose dirt first, then clean, always in that order. Mistake number 10, and this is the one that ties everything together: cleaning without ventilation in a closed, stuffy room. Here we reach the deepest principle of all, and it's central to the Japanese way of thinking about a clean home, that fresh, moving air is part of cleanliness itself. When you clean a sealed-up room with no airflow, several things go wrong at once. The dust you stir up has nowhere to go, so it just resettles onto your clean surfaces. The moisture from your cleaning lingers and feeds mold. The fumes from cleaning products build up in the stale air, which is both unpleasant and, with certain products, genuinely unhealthy to breathe. And the room stays smelling of must and chemicals rather than actually being fresh. The Japanese habit is to open the windows and let the air move as an integral part of cleaning, airing the room out so dust and moisture and fumes are carried outside rather than trapped inside. Fresh air finishes the job that your cloth started. It removes what cleaning loosened into the air, it dries the surfaces, and it leaves the room genuinely fresh rather than just superficially wiped. A truly clean room isn't just a wiped room, it's an aired one, and cleaning with the windows shut traps indoors the very things you were trying to remove. This is the principle behind all the others. Cleaning isn't about the appearance of a wiped surface. It's about actually removing dirt, germs, moisture, and staleness from your home entirely. And that's the shift in thinking that separates real cleaning from just going through the motions. So there they are, 10 cleaning mistakes that, from the Japanese point of view, actually make things dirtier. Using one cloth for everything and spreading germs, cleaning bottom to top instead of top to bottom, never cleaning your own tools, wiping cleaner away before it can work, drowning surfaces in too much product, spraying the surface instead of the cloth, dusting in a way that just scatters dust, leaving everything damp, grinding dry grit into your surfaces, and cleaning in a sealed, airless room. Notice the thread running through all of them. Real cleaning removes dirt from your home, while these habits just relocate it, spreading it, resettling it, or breeding more of it. Fix these, and all the effort you already put into cleaning finally gives you the genuinely clean, fresh home you were working for, instead of just the appearance of one. And if you want the complete Japanese method, with every principle like this for a home that's truly clean, not just wiped, the full book is linked in the description of this video and on the channel. And if this changed how you see your cleaning routine, wait until you see the Japanese daily habits that keep a home so consistently clean that a big cleaning session is almost never needed at all. In the next video, you'll see the small, everyday routines that make deep cleaning a thing of the past. See you in the next one.